Hello everyone, welcome back to the short Vort. This week we read Parshat Shlach. It is the infamous story of the spies that our Parsha opens with. And in God allowing Moshe to send the spies, the Torah says that God said, Shlach lecha anashim. Moshe, send for yourself spies. Why the word lecha? Why send for yourself? Just say Shlach anashim, send spies. Because it wasn't God's command. God didn't say you have to do this. And that's why the word lecha is here. Rashi points this out. Ani eini mitzaveh lecha. I am not commanding you to do this. Im tirtzeh, shlach. If you would like, send the spies. Now, in Sefer Dvarim, we end up learning that actually Bnei Yisrael came to Moshe and said to him, Nishlacha anashim lefanenu, send men in front of us to go scout out the land. And ultimately, Moshe decides to send the spies. And this is obviously turns into an unfortunate occurrence. And 10 of them come back with a very terrible report, and it sends the whole Jewish people into a tumult, which they are punished for. And ultimately, with the exception of Yoshua and Kalev, the adult generation at that time, was not going to enter the land of Israel. They would die out over the course of the 40 years in the desert. But the question is, Shlach lecha anashim. Is it just simply telling us that Moshe, send it for yourself? Like, I'm out of this one. I'm not commanding you. Or is there something actually deeper here? Because, the Torah could have said, God could have said to Moshe, Shlach lachem. You guys, you could tell the people, that God gave us permission. You all can send the spies. But it says Shlach lecha. Lida'atcha, says Rashi. Lida'atcha. Has to be according to your opinion, your discretion. Why? Because Moshe was being pressured. He was being pressured. We know this from Sefer Devarim. He was being pressured by the Jewish people. Many of them were being very noisy and saying, this is what we need. And when Moshe said to God, what do I do? God said, look, do what you think is right. Shlach lecha anashim. Don't let's listen to them because they're being loud and noisy and they have got a catchy slogan. You need to do what's right because it's what you feel is best for the Jewish people. Lidatcha. Shlach lecha anashim. And it's a really valuable lesson that God teaches Moshe here. That you want to, as an effective leader, you need to be able to hear all the voices that are often very noisy and be able to parse out, okay, but what is the right decision for the Jewish people? Put them aside. Let me think this through. And ultimately, Moshe made the decision to send them. But the lesson shouldn't be lost on us that it had to be Moshe's decision. It couldn't be that Moshe was just giving in to the noise. And it's a really important lesson for all of us. That there is a tremendous amount of noise out there. Tremendous amount of noise in this world. Particularly, it's highlighted and amplified by media and particularly social media. And at the end of the day, we need to make decisions, not because groups I associate with make these decisions, but because I believe they're right. That is an important part of what it means to be an effective leader. But this is a very important trait, obviously we see here from the Torah, of being a Jew. It means that I think for myself and make the right decision based on what the Torah teaches us, using God's wisdom to decide what is the best course of action to take. May we all be able to not just think for ourselves, but hopefully, with God's help, be able to always make the right decision. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.